Footsteps meet on hardwood floors, laughter spilling from the doors. Different tongues but hearts the same, learning life beyond the name. At the International English Cafe, talk your troubles right away, sip your tea and stories play. At the International English Cafe.
There you go. So 3, 2, 1. Hi, welcome to the International English Cafe. I am your host for today's meeting. My name is Tan. I am from the Western Hemisphere, so it's evening time, Friday over here. It is Saturday morning in the Eastern Hemisphere of the world. Today's topic is teamwork, where we're going to do and then slash team exercises, riddles, right? So for today's topic, what the agenda would be. Hi, how's it going, everybody that's joining in? So the agenda will be one, I will play a YouTube video regarding teamwork. This portion of the meeting will be cut out from the recording just to make sure that we're not doing any copyright issues. And then after that, I'll get back to the recording again, and we're going to move on to kind of like an overview of teamwork, and then I'll break everybody into separate breakout rooms. So the reason why you might see multiple of my accounts here is I intend to have my other accounts go into the breakout room and continue the recording session. That way I'll have lots of material out there and then start to mix and match things for the YouTube video. Um, but other than that, um, does anybody have any questions so far, especially for those that are just joining in? All right, sounds great. So what I'm gonna do is I'll cut the video or pause the video right here and then get started with the YouTube recording. Let's see. I have multiple devices going. Hope Okay, there we go. Um, so hi everyone. We just got back from watching the video and yeah. Um, so after that overview, does anybody have any particular questions so far? Does this seem like it's pretty straightforward?
Yes, indeed.
Sounds good. Okay, so what I'm going to do now is I'm going to create those breakout rooms. So let's see, because we do have quite a number of people here. All right, so technically I'm going to have one account for the main room, at least two breakout rooms. Um, let's do it automatically assigned. Recreate. Assign it manually. Okay, there you go. Let's see. Hi, Imelda, and let's see, Maria, Ivana. Um, welcome. And Shalmata, I guess. Let's see. We have how many people here?
There are some people from your original country.
Okay, so 19, right? So that means I'll split like 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 for here. Let's do like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, right? And oh, actually, I need to include that. Oop. Chain width. this. Is this right? I think I got this right. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Okay, so I think I got it. All right, so let me do this too, where this, copy link, and where is the chat? Chat is right here. So hopefully I get my accounts there too and sharing screen, or except for my phone. So someone needs to be, let's see, does anybody have a laptop that you're able to share screen?
Yes, I'm on my laptop right now, but
Okay,
I don't know how to share screen.
no worries. There's the button for share screen, and I can walk you through it.
Okay,
Okay, so
okay.
what we're gonna do is hopefully that I get everything. See, exchange with. No, I think I got everything right. All right. So next up is I'm gonna open all the rooms. I think I got everybody assigned, right? So from here, it's essentially 5 accounts and then one of my accounts, right? So it's gonna fall within that 3 to 5 number of teams, right? Um, so I posted the link to the riddles, but what I will do is I'll share the screen too at the same time for those breakout rooms. Um, so here we go. 3, 2, 1, open. And then everybody can start jumping into the breakout room. Um, so overall, those are the riddles. They're all tough, as you can see. So now let's go into some thoughts and questions on this, right? So um, when going through all these exercises, how do you feel yourself as an individual trying to contribute? Do you feel like you're talkative, or do you feel like you're thinking, or how do you feel? So I'll let people volunteer to speak.
Um, if it's from me again,
Yep.
I was like, I kind of feel I was self active in the discussion,
Hmm.
and I used a lot of thoughts like, and then when we're discussing the riddle, I feel like it's much easier when I'm not thinking about this. I'm not solving this riddle alone, because when we were like, there's a like 2 or 3 people among us, like we can actually connect our opinions, different opinions, and we can eventually find the right answers, the perfect one. So these these riddle are actually difficult for me, but when I solve it with other people, it becomes much more easier. Thank you.
That's good. Okay, let's see. Um, Let me start picking on people. So, Kholis, are you there?
Yes, and hello.
Hi. So, when doing some of this, right, how do you feel? Like, what do you feel like your role in this was?
Riddle number 3, right?
Well, not necessarily trying to solve the riddle, right? But then in terms of trying to do these team exercises, how do you feel about yourself in terms of when you're trying to do these exercises? Do you feel like you were pretty talkative? Do you feel like you were just listening? How do you feel?
Okay. Yeah, the first of maybe my participation in the team. So I will listen what the situation is and how is the other member maybe, and what is the other participant said, and after that I will analyze what I can solve the problem. Is there is some issues or is there some discussion? I will join to explore my opinion. And thirdly, I will make some negotiation to other participant or to other member to solve the problem or to solve the discuss or to discuss something. And after that, I will make a conclusion. Yeah, this is my opinion.
Yeah. Right. So you were mostly like just standing on the sidelines and you were trying to just think things out and you're trying to take in all the information, right? So that's essentially like you're kind of what you're doing. Cool. All right.
Okay.
So let's see. Um, Esmelda, how about you? What are your thoughts on your participation on this or like how you're working out with this?
Well, for me, I would like to listen to some people's opinions, and uh, I usually want to be part of the solution, to work together, to discuss, and to give contributions. And I think I had some good lessons here in like in a teamwork. We although we have full capacity, sometimes we need to decrease a little bit and to give other people's opportunity for the sake of safety.
Mm-hmm.
I think that's what I learned also from here. If we sometimes we are afraid of losing our opportunities to carry on with our capacities, and we want to push everything out to everybody. We want everybody to think the same, but I don't think that's gonna work.
Mm.
And once we realize that the purpose here is for safety. In these three riddles, it's safety is the purpose, not our uh, self interest or self um, capacity, not just about ourselves, but for safety for all.
Yeah.
So
Very nice. So see, you see a different aspect of it, right? Where like there's kind of like the distribution of the workload, right? Being able to give people a chance to actually provide inputs and give their take on things, right? And like just knowing that like there's kind of the sense of, in the sense of like harmony of being able to work together. And so hence trying to give everybody a chance. That's good. How about you, Mohammed?
Uh,
Oh, okay, there you go.
I'm back. Yeah.
Okay. So how about you, Mohammed? So like in terms of like uh going through this exercise, right? How do you feel about your, I guess, contribution in terms of like a teamwork setting? What are your thoughts?
I think the participation of the other members uh, is it inspired me because on the first riddle, the first person who spoke inspired me. It's what he said that gives me the my that shaped my opinion. You know, so I think the participation in this kind of meeting is really insightful, and
Mm,
it can help you to be much more confident when you are speaking, whether in a group or to uh, a single person. So my take on this is that it's a good way to improve quickly. Just you have to be willing to participate. That's what you need to do.
Good, right? So like probably like from the sound of it too, right? It seems a little bit difficult because it was not really clear what the goal was, and then once you started to see what one person's take was, then it kind of helped motivate you to be like, oh wait, like I have a sense
Yes,
of direction now. Good.
yes. It makes you think more. You know, it gives you more perspectives.
That's pretty good. Okay, Myori, are you there? Because
I'm here.
yep. Okay, so you had some inputs into some of this too. So overall, what do you feel about when trying to work as a team to try to solve these riddles? Um, how do you feel about like your part in this and just the teamwork aspect overall?
Hmm. Personally, I think it's interesting for us to work together as a group to solve this riddle. Because again, this riddle is a little bit hard, but well, we work together to decode what it means or the step by step on how we should do it. It's fun and bring us together in a way.
Yeah, that's good to hear. So notice, right? Like I played a video on teamwork. I gave a pretty short overview and I just threw you eyes into it. There wasn't really a sense of direction except for like, oh, here's some riddles and then just solve it, right? So what do you guys end up doing? You guys kind of just naturally
Yeah.
took upon yourself to rise up to the challenge. So you'll start to see that your natural instincts in this kind of like then talks to what your attributes are when it comes to a team. So now, teamwork. What is like how would you go about teamwork, right? Now, teamwork in order for an organization or a team to function, everybody has to play their part. Everybody has a role. So notice how I just threw you guys into this and you guys just started to try to work together. So naturally, certain instincts that arise from this, then you can start to see these are some of your attributes, or at least these are some of your strengths in terms of your contribution to a team. So being able to resource manage things to allow for many members to participate, that's what kind of like what would Esmelda was alluding to, right? Or Imelda was alluding to, right? You have Mohammed basically showing us that like, hey, I'm lost, but then having my team with me, then like I have a sense of direction. Now I know what my vision statement is. I know what my mission is. I know what my objective is, right? Um, Having input from Kholis, right? And kind of like showing us that sometimes a role of a team member is not being in the forefront, but being behind the scenes. Because sometimes you need a guy, need a person that's behind the scenes. Or opposite of that, you have Nadine kind of like being kind of like a face of the group, right? So you can start to see everybody has these different roles. Sometimes these roles aren't going to be exactly defined what they are. But when you try to look up teamwork and the whole like ideal way to do teamwork, there's going to be many things that they write out there in the internet. But ideally, there's going to be someone that kind of plays a leader role, and then you have people that plays very specific, specialized roles to contribute. right? So that's essentially what's going on. But notice how you guys all naturally came together and then just started to work together, right? And then you guys just naturally fell into whatever role that you guys play. And that's essentially what teamwork is. Now, you see here that these are your strengths that you basically showcased in this meeting. So there's going to be times where like you're going to be in a team and you're not going to show off your strength, but you're going to play a different role because there's somebody else playing a role that is of your strength that they're going to be filling instead, right? So you might find yourself wearing multiple hats. Now, I'm saying a lot of this stuff because one, there's some vocab words in there somewhere, and I'm hoping that like at some point when I go through the recording, I'll pick apart those vocabs. For example, multiple hats, right? Those are some jargons to put in there. Because after all, you know, this is an English meeting, and learning more vocabulary and jargons would be helpful for your English journey, right? Um, but at the same time, I want this like very raw kind of lesson of what teamwork is. Because I didn't do any explanation, if you haven't noticed, right? Everything was very broad, very vague, and I just kind of threw you guys into the mix. To be honest, this is not really fair to you guys, but you guys rose up to the challenge anyways. And then you can start to see like some of your natural attributes, which is kind of the idea to this, and then just have you guys talk about it. So the whole riddle stuff and all this, a lot of it is very absurd. You can kind of see how tough the riddles are, right? That's how absurd it is. But then based off of that, right? Based off trying to attempt the challenge
That's right.
is yeah. So based off attempting the challenge, then you can start to see like, what's your place in things. So if you were to work as a team in a different situation, essentially this is kind of what's going to happen, right? Like it's going to be a free-for-all for what roles to take within the team, and then you get to work. There's one negative aspect to a team is that there's going to be people that just don't do anything. Just imagine like you're back in school and you're working on that school project and a group project for school. And then you have that, one or two people that just doesn't do anything, and then everybody else chips in, right? So there's also going to be some of those too, right? And sometimes you're literally going to have to carry them with you. Fair or not, but then that's kind of what that is because that's a team on a smaller level. So when you start to expand a team to be a bigger and bigger level, you start to see what is an organization, what is a society, what is a company, what is a corporation. It's going to get bigger and bigger. There's going to be people that chips in and play their part, and then there's going to be people that can't or won't. But what you put into this helps the team and or organization to thrive and succeed. So this is some of the difficulties and realism of teamwork. So this is basically what we'll be doing for teamwork, right? Hopefully so in the next meeting, I'll actually have like more of like, okay, teamwork, here are the roles, but also too, maybe I'll play clips of this recording to give members this kind of an idea of like, this is how everybody was feeling, and this is kind of like the lesson, right? I'm doing like the whole review at the end. And, you know, For some people, they can't stick around long enough for the meeting and they just jump off. Other people would just get disinterested and then jump off. It's understandable just because, what exactly is going on? What is the point in all this? And kind of like have to just go through it and then wait to the end. So um, that's uh, that's what today's meeting is about, and we're gonna have more teamwork fun for the next two weekends. So um, next week will be a little bit more organized, where like there is more of a direction. There's more of like what is the role? We'll have people split up and then go about things that way. Um, but in this case, everything was, very haphazard, very all mixed up and random. I mean, week one, like I said, it's random. So this is just all part of the randomness. Does anybody have any questions, thoughts, or comments?
I think riddles are very good in this meeting. It helps us think critically, try to solve the problem, and it gets us out of the comfort zone. Uh, and it really helps us think and rethink about teamwork. Very interesting and very impressed today. Thank you.
Thank you. Anybody else with comments, questions, and thoughts? Oop. All right, did I do it? Okay, there you go.
Me, the only thing I can say is that when people work together, they are likely to achieve much better things than when they work alone.
Hmm. Sounds fair. Okay.
I am having an issue with the network. That's why.
Nope, that's understandable. Okay. Anybody else with comments, questions, and thoughts?
Am I audible?
Yep, you're audible.
Just like Ma'am Imelda says that using real is well, it's a pretty good method actually, because we can meet strangers and we're naturally connected our mind into like trying to solving this riddle. So it's a good method. I can't wait to join the next meeting.
Sounds good. Also, too, like overall, I can understand how frustrating things are, but nonetheless, like you guys rose up to the challenge, and I hope that you guys start to see um how it's like just being thrown into the mix and then still being able to do something about it. Okay, so I think you know, one question that's not that bad. I kind of dragged it out too. Um, Overall, I think you guys did a pretty good job. Um, just me throwing, in a sense, something as basically I threw you guys like to like the kitchen with all the mess, and then you guys cleaned it up. But um, next meeting, I'm going to delve into well, it's language arts, right? So we're gonna go hopefully to a more literature aspect. Um, so that will be the kind of content that we'll be delving into and having everybody work in the group regarding the exercise. Once I can, I'll formalize something um, once I can think it out through. But nonetheless, that will be the expectation. And then week 3, we'll be delving into the data and then having you all kind of like play with that data and start to come up with like a story about what you see from that data. But yeah, teamwork makes the dream work. So don't know if you guys have anything further, but if not, then I can call meeting adjourned. And yeah, hope you guys have a nice weekend.
Thank you, Tan.
Yeah, you're
Thank you so
welcome.
much.
Okay, so with that, I call meeting adjourned. Thank you for everybody joining, and take care.
Thank you. Bye bye.
Yeah, bye. And let's see, where's my... All right, so click.
Words collide like fiddles hum, every accent's welcome some. Round the table, dreams are shared, across the world and love is aired. At the International English Cafe, talk your troubles right away, sip your tea, let stories play. At the International English Cafe, we don't need no passport stamp, just a cozy quarter lamp. Face to face we find the way, in a little cafe day after day. Maps and charts might trace the globe, but here we spin our own wardrobe. Patchwork lives with thread we weave, stories told when you believe. At the International English Cafe, words align like fiddles hum. At the International English Cafe, words collide like fiddles hum, every accent's welcome some. Round a table, dreams are shared, across the world and love is aired. Our love is aired, across the world and love is aired. Across the world and love is aired. English Cafe, we don't need no passport stamp, just a cozy quarter lamp. Face to face we find the way, in a little cafe day after day. Maps and charts might trace the globe, but here we spin our own wardrobe. Here's your face, we find the way, in a little cafe day after day after day. Maps and charts might trace the globe, but here we spin our own wardrobe. But here we spin our own wardrobe. But here we spin our own wardrobe. Patchwork little cafe day. Accent charts might trace the globe. We don't need no passport stamp, just a cozy corner lamp. Face to face we find the way, in a little cafe day after day. Maps and charts might trace the globe, but here we spin our own wardrobe. But here we spin our own wardrobe. Patchwork lives with thread we weave, stories told when you believe. Italy.
Okay. And let me get back to sharing off of this. So far, were the riddles kind of tricky, right? And
Yes.
I think like a bunch of people have started to drop off to basically, um, but you can kind of see when trying to work together to try to solve the riddle, even with a team, it's a little bit hard because it's kind of a challenge, right? But you can start to see there all the rhythms all the riddles have kind of this step-by-step process of what you need to do to solve the riddle. So it's not like one of those riddles like, what has a face, hands, but no eyes, right? And then basically the answer is a clock because a clock has a face and a clock has hands, right? Um, so it's not going to be those kind of riddles, but this is one of those riddles where you have to um, provide kind of an instruction of solving it. Um, okay, let me see. Where is this thingy? Oh, right here. So overall, I think everybody struggled a good deal, but it's not bad because you guys will still toughing it out together. And that's kind of part of the whole teamwork aspect of things. Um, things are actually going to be easy. And sometimes you'll struggle as a team too. So this is kind of the challenge here. Um, so I'll share my screen again and let's go through the riddles one by one. And then, or technically, because you guys didn't solve riddle 3 yet. So we can all do that together. So for the first riddle, it's the farmer, right? Where what he has to do is step by step, he needs to transfer his 3 products, basically the wolf, the goat, and the cabbage over to the other side. Um, so for this one, at least for the other group, they mentioned first going with the goat because that way the wolf and the cabbage won't eat the goat. Or like the wolf won't eat the goat and the goat won't eat the cabbage. And then from there, he would travel back to the original side of the riverbank, and then he'll start bringing the other products over. But once he brings one product over, he brings the goat back to the original side. Then he brings the other product over, and then goes back to the original side by himself to pick up the goat. And then, then he has all products, all 3 of his products, and then goes home, right? Um, it's not that straightforward because we are used to having this mentality of this is a riddle, here's the answer, done. You'll see that like not all answers are that short, right? Like you have to explain it more. You have to kind of go into depth a little bit. You have to um, kind of talk more to it, right? So that's kind of the idea to that first riddle. And you'll start to see that the second and third riddle, it's the same idea. You have to talk about the process. So with the second riddle, same idea. Now, I mentioned to the other group, there's 2 answers. So the first answer is the answer that's from the movie, because this is from the movie Die Hard 3. So if you just looked up the um, if you looked up um, the the summary of the movie or the plot of the movie and got to this part of the movie, it will tell you what happened and how they disarmed the bomb. Because in the movie, they disarmed the bomb. Because if they didn't, everybody would have died. So what they did is they filled up the 5 gallon, poured into the 3 gallon. So this is the same of what everybody mentioned in the other room. I don't know what you guys did in the room 1, but they went with the 5 gallon pouring into the 3 gallon route instead of the 3 gallon pouring into the 5 gallon route. But the idea is you just pour the water from one jug into the other, then you empty it out. Then you keep on pouring and then filling up the other jug and then empty it out. Such that until you get 4 gallons into the 5 gallon jug. So either you go with the 3 gallon into the 5 gallon jug or the 5 gallon into the 3 gallon jug. Either way, because at some point you're going to have that difference where there's 1 gallon. And because you have 1 gallon, 5 minus 1 is 4, right? I'm not going to go into the detail exactly what the process is, but that's what like what you're doing, right? You're pouring from either 3 to the 5 or 5 to the 3. and then you just continue that process until you eventually get 4 gallons. So the next part, or the last part, is the 12 corn trial, right? So this is a little bit different because the answer to this is not as easy. This is one of those out of the box type of thinking. So let's see. Um, is everybody on the call? Is everybody here? Oh, let's see. Juventino.
Yeah.
Oh, hi. Cool. So Esmelda, Juventino, Kholis, Maria, Mohamed, Myori, and Nadine. Cool. Okay, so I know you guys were in room one talking about this. So what are your thoughts so far?
I'm actually from group 2, and
Oh, sorry.
if it's from me, it's okay. If it's from me, I think the first thing to do is I would have to divide the coins into like 3 groups of 4,
Mm,
and I'll place the first 4 coins on the left side, and the next 4 coins on the right side. When I weighed them, they were like um they were in the scale, they were balances because, well, they were like 4 and 4, and
hmm
this tells us that those are the 8 coins, the eight normal coins, right?
Yep.
But therefore, the false coin must be among these remaining 8 coins.
hmm
Yeah. I just I just stopped from there, and asking for my lecture and friends' advices. Our discussion stops right there, actually.
Good. That's a good start. Okay, so for those that are um wanting to get all caught up with this, right? So this is the 12 coin trial where you have 12 coins and 11 11 of them weigh the same, whereas one does not weigh the same. It weighs differently. So the the goal is to figure out which one is the false coin. And let's see, you only have 3 weighings, meaning you can only use the scales 3 times, and that's it, right? So what would you do, right? So Nadine mentioned dividing the coins up into 3 parts such that you weigh the one group of 4 and another group of 4, and you leave the other group of 4 on, like the third group of 4 on the side. And if the first 2 groups weigh the same, that means the false coin is in the third group. Otherwise, if they do not weigh the same, that means the false coin is amongst those 8. So um, then kind of like what you do there is then you just kind of weigh it 2 more times, depending on whatever the result is. So once you do that, then you'll eventually get to the part where you can figure out which one is the false coin. And then ta-da, right? So that's kind of the process. You can kind of go into more details, but that's basically the start of what Nadine said is the answer, right?